Last week set us up here for this matchup here, and from what I really saw, this was really the 1 and the 2 coming into the 8 teams that made the postseason. But push is going to become up against shove, as it's the Huskies and the Bison for the Heartland Conference Finals. And we are off and running. St. Cloud State in the blue with the trio of Spook, Straight, and Power. And on the side of the Bison, we'll do Shaven, Jaden, and Tyler. Spooks has a chance. He's going to get cut off early. And early on, we see here, Mango, the Bison getting physical.
Right. I mean, of course, that's one thing you want to set in this first game. Like we said last week, it's really just a feeler game. You're kind of feeling out your opponents. Although they have seen this matchup, it's been a really long time since it's happened. Both teams have had chances to grow and incorporate new things that, of course, they're looking to try out, as that one just bounces right off the crossbar. Beautiful save coming out by Straight. But they're looking to incorporate a lot of new things, and one of the biggest things in meta right now is demos, because in 3v3 especially, it completely takes a man out of the rotation, causing calamity and unfortunate discomfort for the 2 remaining people on that side.
And even though for a demo, when you're only off the field for 3 seconds, but for many seconds afterwards, a team's rotation can still be out of sync, and that can still be just as harmful.
Absolutely. And it also, like, if it's not timed well, a demo you could bring out a demo onto someone who needs to rotate back, and then you've already rotated them back, and with some boost as well. So you got to know when to do it and when it's most effective.
Early on here, the Bisons have had the majority of the pressure. 4 shots so far. Nothing too dangerous just yet, but they're really getting into the faces of St. Cloud, not giving them any real chance to set up, as it's just kind of been clear after clear for St. Cloud, but no real follow-up after that. As Power was going to be the follow-up man there. He's taken off the pitch. Shaven going to have to try to double touch that one down, unable.
I like what I'm seeing from the side of St. Cloud here, because we're really seeing them utilize the back post as well to make a lot of these saves, because it looks like the Bisons are looking to bang it off the back wall, maybe for a teammate or for a double tap a lot.
And right now for the Huskies, they got to look to player A to player B down the field. They've been struggling to do so. Straight backs out of this one. Spooks waterfalls down off the backboard. Can't find it. All three Husky players on top of one another. Got to be careful here. Bison seemed really poised to strike. And the Huskies learned well last week against the Hilltoppers from Western Kentucky, who just were able to shoot the ball and score from just about anywhere on the pitch. So straight, not a lot of boost. We'll just force the Bison player to make a move.
That's really what the job of first man is, right? You're looking to apply that pressure and really force your opponent to do something with the ball rather than letting them hold it and carry it down the field all on their own.
Like, don't make it easy on them. It's essentially your job. Make them make a move, and your second man can go from there.
Absolutely. You're 100% right, Ernie. It's really just their job to get in the play, then get out of the play to that third man position to keep that constant flow.
Jaden looking for a clear, but St. Cloud State beginning to close in. Able to hold that midfield line for a moment. Another clear attempt from St. Cloud, but the Bison line and waiting. 2-on-0 the other way. Shaven taps this one in. And just out of rotation. Power gets sent. Says exit stage right. And for North Dakota State, they draw first blood here in game number 1. But other than the physicality from the Bison, I haven't seen anything too wild and crazy.
Right. Nothing really happens really this first feeler game. Everyone's really just kind of trying to figure out where everyone is mechanically and like what their strengths and weaknesses are rotation wise. But definitely looking that the Bisons are putting a lot more shots on net than our Huskies, probably due to the fact that Bisons are keeping a little bit more pressure in that midfield area.
Right now, the Bison out shooting St. Cloud 8-2. And just from that alone, that's kind of how the game has gone. St. Cloud's got a little bit of offensive pressure, but the shots just not that deadly. As for the Bison, they've been running rampant with demos left, right, and center. And St. Cloud really hasn't been able to adjust. Final 30 here. Gonna need to see some creativity. This is something. Shaven gonna beat out Spooks. Final 20. Huskies really trying to wrap this one around the corner. At this level, I don't know how well that's gonna work. Smart slow play from Shaven. Final 10, straight flying in, fakes. Tyler gets there. Gonna have to be a big read from Power. It's just not really where he wanted it to go. And the Bison will take game number 1.
Unfortunate fall for the St. Cloud State Huskies, right? I mean, in that game, we really saw that the Bison were able to hold the midfield and put a lot of shots on target, constantly leaving kind of St. Cloud State on their heels without being able to get any traction. And when they were finally able to get that traction later in the game, we saw how much pressure they were able to apply to North Dakota State's goal line, really. I mean, they forced so many saves out of them in the last minute. It was absolutely crazy.
And you look at the 4 shots for St. Cloud State, they were all saved by NDSU. So again, for St. Cloud State, we need to see some more creativity. You can't just keep trying to wrap around the boards. Look for those infield passes.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
think back to Monday and how Western Kentucky was able to pick apart this Husky defense. Maybe try to take something out of their playbook. We'll see what head coach Kai what he's able to say here.
Right. You're 100% correct. I mean, especially on the clears, like if you're clearing the ball away from your side, the first thing you should do is look for a teammate, combine, maybe get a quick 1-2 or hit them while they're on the wall. It really can open up a lot of options rather than just one person bring it down the field. Now you have 2, possibly 3 if the third man's getting involved as well.
So game 2 off and running. St. Cloud State looks to get a bit of a head start. This is good control from Power. Follow up unable to connect from Spooks. The back pass from Straight puts Power in an awkward spot.
And this is
Whiff there from Jaden, going to be an open net for Straight, buries it. And this is exactly what this team needed. And just to prove to themselves they can score, and this other team does make mistakes.
Right, absolutely. You nearly took the words right out of my mouth. We saw that pass coming off the wall from Spooks right to Power, and then Power able to kind of tap it around the defender, where the defender was left in an awkward position, which resulted in that miss, and then just a simple tap in for Straight. That just really shows the strength of these infield passes.
Straight open net opportunity. Shaven caught creeping too far forward. And Straight's going to get his second of the game. And for Shaven, you know, that his positioning literally comes down to maybe 2 car lengths. He's a couple car lengths back. He's able to get back to that shot.
Right,
but he's just too far forward. Spook's going to put another one on. What has happened?
I mean, I think this game, too, the Huskies really said, all right, we figured out that you guys like to play defense. We're just going to turn up our shooting a lot.
St. Cloud State, game 1, it took them 5 minutes to put 4 shots on. 45 seconds in, or 15 seconds. Math on air. I apologize. St. Cloud State already has 4 shots, is what I'm trying to say. They're cooking.
Right, absolutely. I really like the way that St. Cloud is kind of positioning themselves a lot better in this game, too. They're really not jumbling up as much. They're staying spread out to where they can connect. Spooks here going to look to jump, put this one on target, put it low. I mean, with the ability to stay cleared out comes, it's forcing you to pass the ball to your teammates.
Oh, Spooks just a little too early on it. But it seems here in game 2, St. Cloud State more conscious, more aware of their positioning. And it's allowed them to be spaced out a bit more. And we see their offense have success from that. But a 3-goal burst to start game number 2 definitely caught me off guard here. But I'm not going to complain here, Mango.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I think we label it as one of those pleasant surprises.
Yes. This is a good center. Tyler going to be a bit late to that one. Lucky Straight fanned on it. Now we see St. Cloud getting a little physical. Trying to give the Bison a little taste of their own medicine. Tyler all by himself. Fans on it. Power gets bumped off.
Even though there wasn't connection there, I like that jump from Straight really to come across to kind of bail out his teammate that was caught stranded in the goal with absolutely no momentum. It really minimized where Tyler could have shot that ball.
As it's often said, hand down, man down. And right there, Huskies, they did have a hand up. Again, make it difficult on the shooters. Don't give them open nets and open shooting lanes. Make them try to over-tune their shot a little bit. Just under halfway here. Game number 2.
I think you're
St. Cloud State are comfortable. But maybe a little too comfortable. Shaven going to cut the deficit down to 2.
I think you're absolutely right, Ernie. I think you don't want to be able to give your opponent that time and that you want to make them have to think about their shot and worry about another defender coming in rather than just a one-on-one scenario.
Power gets a bit of a mid-air bump onto Shaven. Gonna try to open some space. Spooks softly puts one on net. Straight's happy just to dump it back into the corner. Again, trying to wrap around the wall, force it through. Bit of a questionable play style. St. Cloud State holding strong here. 90 seconds to go. That clear going to go just wide. Spooks has to be careful. Still on net. Power sweeps in at the final moment. Now we see the Bison kind of start to rush their touches a little bit. They want to get back into this game. St. Cloud State have to continue to be aware of positioning and just some of these demos that come up for the Bison, they just miss the ball and they get the player and it's almost good enough.
Right. I mean, that's definitely one of the biggest things in Rocket League is like if you can't hit the ball, hit the man. That's what I always say, especially when someone's trying to like air dribble the ball
You
from
still
over your
take
guard.
away the threat.
Exactly. You're giving away the chance of a dunk proportionally, and it's easier to follow one person approaching the ball than the person behind the ball and someone else coming in as well.
Devin, pardon me, straight playing chase. Spooks put a shot on here. Final 30 begin to wind down. Oh, dangerous fan rolling on the goal line. Oh my goodness, absolute disaster. As just the unfortunate corner read for straight. I don't want to talk about how many times I've had that happen to me.
Definitely one of the weirdest bounces in Rocket League itself is just where the gray meets the black on the wall. It really is. It's really a toss-up if it bounces up or if it bounces out.
So St. Cloud State got to hold on here for another 15 seconds. Got to force the Bison to go the length of the pitch. Shaven getting demos. That's a huge clear from Power. And if St. Cloud State can control here, it looks like they will do so. They'll take game number 2. And they will convincingly. 3-2. Got a little shaky there at the end. I think the Huskies kind of let off the throttle a little bit, but you held NDSU to 3 shots. One of their players didn't even hit 100 points.
I mean, everything that St. Cloud State did was really, really good in that first, especially that the first 3 minutes, right? They were able to knock down 3 early goals, which really set the momentum and set them up for an absolute fantastic game. Perhaps they maybe, like you said, gave up on the momentum, took the pedal off the gas a little too early, maybe should have kept knocking some of those shots on net. But what really worked out for them was those demos coming out from especially like Power and Straight, where they were able to connect on those demos on whoever was in net, really leaving the defense wide open from the side of North Dakota State, leaving easy tap-ins and some decent opportunities on offense for St. Cloud State.
And other than the 2 mistakes for SCSU, the Bison weren't really able to get anything going on offense. They were able to get clears, but St. Cloud State kind of cleaned up their breakouts.
Right. I mean,
And they were able to break out. They were able to avoid the demos. And all of a sudden, St. Cloud State, they're not getting demoed every 20 seconds. They're able to do something.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, everything, they basically took what North Dakota State did in the first game and made it their own and said, hey, we can play that game too if you want to. I would just love to see them connect on a couple more clears coming out from defense. I definitely think that a couple goals could spring from that alone.
St. Cloud State trying to get something off the low backboard. Forces the Bison to clear. Spooks trying to get that one up to straight, but he's a bit in an awkward spot. Another demo for the Bison. Sometimes, Mango, it's kind of difficult to see what a team's play style is, but I think the Bison have made it very clear how they like to run things around here.
Right. I think they like to try to bully their way through, whereas St. Cloud's going to be like, we're not going to take this. We're going to play our own game.
It's a good centering touch. Spooks, a little hesitant to it. Wasn't sure how he wanted to attack it. Minute done and dusted. No goal scorer just yet. 1 shot on the side of St. Cloud State. Not a lot of solid chances. Spooks trying to thread the needle through 2. Straight's getting chased. But the shot ended up going wide. That's a great clear. But again, the midfield pressure, shutting it down. Power beats the man. Bounce shot. Oh my God, on the goal line. It goes through. Jaden barely hit this ball, and he just needed a little more on it.
I mean, that was great communication coming out from the side of St. Cloud. Spooks was able to put that ball up in the air. Power calling him off, saying, I can take it from here. Great pass. I'm going to set this one up and slam it down for a decent lead coming out in the first minute and a half in game number 3.
Spooks, bit of just a nuisance touch, going through the motions. Great read from Straight. Not allowing Bison players to get multiple touches in the air. It's always a recipe for disaster if you're the defense. If a player can just kind of dribble the ball wherever he wants up high. St. Cloud State getting quicker to their challengers. Straight, if he can beat the last man, he does.
That was
Coast
absolutely
to coast.
great speed from Straight. Able to beat this man in the air, then jump off the wall, wave dash. That's the only reason he was able to get back to that ball, is because of that mechanical ability to jump off that wall, hit the perfect wave dash, not let his car get screwed up on the landing, and beat the last defender. Crucial, amazing play from Straight.
And for those of you that are unfamiliar with Rocket League mechanics, a wave dash is when a player basically dodges into the ground and it gives them a mini speed boost. And it was that one maneuver that that allowed Straight to get to that ball a bit quicker. And right here, Mango, again, the bounce shot just unsavable, unreadable.
Right. No one expected the bounce shot to come there, and it also
no one ever expects the bounce shot.
Absolutely, and it also came down to Tyler being an absolute menace on the backfield, getting a bump on one defender and then demoing another, really opened up the goal line.
Power throwing one on net. Good challenge from Spooks. Keeping the Bison honest. Just causing chaos in the offensive third. 3 minutes gone. Huskies lead by one. Spooks decided just to let that one roll by once he found out he was clear for takeoff. Double commit from St. Cloud. Got to be careful here.
I would
Good
really
touch
like
in the open space.
I would really like to see St. Cloud really do what they did in the second game and kind of open back up and really play more spread out and kind of give each other space and time. This could be a crucial counterattack as Straight's going to slam this one up the field. But really spreading out allows for more passes to connect, and it's easier to communicate what's going to happen because it's more clear about who's going for what ball and who's where and stuff like that.
Oh, it took... What? I for sure thought Power was going to get dunked here. But no, just beats Jaden cleanly to the ball. Recognizing the time and space that he can get a small touch on it. Huskies get their 2-goal lead back here. But as we saw in the previous game, Mango, Huskies should not sit on it.
Right, absolutely not. They should really put the pedal to the metal. And I mean, Kobe said it. The GOAT. Job's not finished. Lock in. Beautiful read from Spooks as he's gonna dunk the defender from North Dakota and lead this game 4-1 up with just a minute left on the clock.
Tyler had no idea Spooks was there. No clue. And Spooks just going to strike while the iron's hot, make it 4-1. Why not? Everyone from St. Cloud getting involved in the scoring. It's good to see everyone can get the juices flowing.
I mean, it's like they heard us where we said, don't stop, don't get complacent. And they decided, hey, we got this one. This one's for you, Ernie. We're scoring this goal for you. And they tapped another one in the net.
You know, I don't know if they're thinking that exact thing, but I appreciate it. I was on the team last fall. Power gets another. It's just going to keep rolling for the Huskies. It's 5-1. Power's shooting 100%, 3 goals on 3 shots. Man's hot, Mango.
I mean, absolutely. And not only is it setting like a, hey, we're awake and we're ready to go now, like you've woken the beast, but they're also setting momentum going into the next game where, like, hey, we just put 5 up on you guys. What are you going to do about it?
You know, it can be a little demoralizing when you just get absolutely dominated multiple games in a row. So I think this is a great statement game for St. Cloud after the way they kind of let Game 2 get away from them. As they were up 3-0 and then they ended up giving up 2 goals. But here, this was a full 5-minute domination, start to finish. 9 shots to 2. Tyler barely gets to triple digits. And St. Cloud State moved to 2-1 in the series.
I mean, St. Cloud State did a lot better this game than the last game. They really opened up a little bit more, connected more on the passes, and we saw some beautiful cuts into the midfield to really stop the play that North Dakota State likes to try to do through the midfield, and some more beautiful clears, as well as a lot of individual mechanics with straight off that wall, getting that wave dash to beat that last defender, really put the game in motion, almost like, hey, we're locked in now. Let's pick up the pace. Don't give our opponents time to breathe and just really get it going.
And I think whatever changes were made, whatever was said between games 1 and game 2 have paid off. And for St. Cloud State, I think they've bought in to whatever was said in that intermission. And it's worked wonders so far. We'll see if it continues here or if the Bison have another trick up their sleeve. We haven't seen them get as physical in the previous 2 games compared to game 1. Maybe they go back to that.
It could be that they stopped doing it, or it could be that St. Cloud State has done a lot better job of realizing that they're trying to do that and kept an eye out, as well as, like, that's one thing that you should always come what you're doing with the ball, if you have it, where you are, how much boost you have, or if you see an opponent, like especially if someone's going to demo somebody, you got to let your teammates know, hey, he's coming for you, get ready.
Yep, it's nice to have teammates who are essentially the eyes in the back of your head. And I think if you're able to call what's off your teammate's screen so they can focus what they're looking at, it's one of the best things you can do as a teammate. So, St. Cloud, Spooks trying to set up straight here. Crashes in after it. Going to be a dangerous touch there from Jaden. A little too much on the center. Spooks can't get there. There's the demo. Tyler's going to have to turn back on this one. And the Bison just take too much time to put a shot on.
I mean, it was a beautiful recovery coming back from Spooks, able to cut that ball, really kind of gave the member of St. Cloud time to get back, as well as respawn, really gaining all of their defenders back within just one play.
Straight gets a touch on the ball. He gets demoed for his effort. Pinch off from the side. We see a bump there from Power. He's going to think twice. Didn't really have the boost for it. Only had 20 boost. So he was pretty limited in his resources. Shaven, that's a great shot and just threads the needle. Huskies couldn't stretch out far enough.
I think you hit it right on the nose, Ernie. I think that they've really, like, kind of gone back to that demo game, that bully game where they're going to bump and demo their way through this St. Cloud State defense. Definitely just need to kind of listen out more and communicate more and be like, if your teammate's about to get demoed, you need to let them know.
Spooks all by himself, just doesn't have the boost to recover. Would have been a great chance. Another fan on there from Spooks. Struggling a little bit here in game number 4. But it's been overall, it's been a very quiet game. Not a lot of big chances for either side. And really the first big mistake was the one to go through.
I mean, like you said, not a lot of action going on right now. North Dakota State with 2 shots versus St. Cloud State's only 1. I mean, not too much has happened. Now it's 2-2 shooting, but kind of a quiet game so far.
Quiet game. Both teams playing very solid Rocket League. Not doing anything too wild and crazy. Power, are you joking? He's flying right and shoots the ball left. Shoots behind the defender. And for Jane, there's no chance he's getting that ball.
Right. I mean, beautiful placement. That's one of the biggest things is he was able to realize he had 2 defenders in front of him. So he said, I'm going to put it behind you guys on that back post. Really just able to utilize his ability and momentum in the air to put it where he wanted it to. Beautifully, flawlessly executed.
of an awkward clear. Straights right there. Why not get a touch on it? Power fans on it. All three Huskies right there. It's going to be a short offensive zone time. Spooks threatening, just putting the shot right down the middle. Still in the box. Not as much urgency as I would expect from the Bison here. As we approach the final 90 seconds. I don't want to say things come to a bit of a slowdown, bit of a time to calm here, Mango. But it's more of it's almost a build-up.
Right. I mean, absolutely. But in this last minute, especially, we've really seen St. Cloud putting the pressure on and leaving North Dakota State in their half, kind of under pressure and without boost, just scrambling to pick up a pad here and there, perhaps even dabbling into the big boost on the corners. But you can't get too eager for them because they definitely do put you in the lab position.
Straight able just to reach out enough, double commit. Gonna be an open chance for Spooks. He buries the Bisons, fumble the bag. And St. Cloud State will cash in.
Right. I mean, beautiful recognition. I mean, just an unfortunate mistake from North Dakota State's side. What can you do about it? Capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. Beautiful goal. Putting them 2-1 up in this game and in a great position. I know that one especially has to be like a big depth, or I guess depletion into the morale of North Dakota State, because that one hurts.
That one's gonna sting, and you don't have a lot of time to think about it. Oh my goodness, St. Cloud was almost in a Rule 1 by themselves. Bison throwing everything in the kitchen sink, trying to put that ball in the back of the net. Now they got to go the full length of the field. Centering attempt, power, top shelf, top G's. Yes, sir! St. Cloud State are gonna secure game number 4.
Absolutely crucial. I mean, it was they were able to get that big clear by Straight, as he then was able to chase it, playing that first man, getting it up to the ceiling, tapping it down, and Power just beautifully put it over the defender from North Dakota State's head. Beautiful end to this game. I mean, they're really going to lock in. Straight going to look to get another one. Double tap into the top corner. That one is putting them in such a good momentum going into game number 5. I believe this is going to put St. Cloud State up 3-1 in the series.
This will, and we talked about the previous game being demoralizing. This one for sure for the Bison. This was in the palm of your hand. You were right there. And it just got away from you so fast. And now for St. Cloud State, they're 1 game away.
This game especially, we saw a lot more of that demoing coming out from North Dakota State, right? They really did that for the whole first 2 minutes and knocking down a decently early goal, kind of getting that lead. But St. Cloud at the end was just playing a lot better. They were connecting on all of their passes, playing that really nice rotation of first, second, and third man, as well as really capitalizing on North Dakota State's mistakes, which is what really allowed them to get such a decent, opportunity to score in every situation, right? They were able to realize, hey, that's a double commit miss. Let's do this. Oh, this person cheated off back post. Let's shoot it on the back post. Something simple like that. But it's a great recognition from St. Cloud State. And it definitely takes time and effort. You can see how patient they're playing, to where they're waiting for them to make these mistakes and capitalizing on.
So for St. Cloud State 3 months ago, this series looked a little bit different. It was the Bison leading the charge. This time around, St. Cloud State, they've learned their lesson. They've gone to the drawing board. And they've thrived all fall long. But now it comes back to this. 1 game for the conference title. This will be 5 very long minutes for fans of the red and black. Mango, I can't wait to see how it's going to go.
Oh, me neither. We're already seeing some big plays coming out, especially on the defense, as that's 2 that's going to go off the crossbar. St. Cloud looking to get it out of their half, regain that boost, regain their positioning, right? But going back to what we were talking about, we really need St. Cloud to kind of spread back out and play more controlled and ready and patient, waiting for their opponents to make mistakes, but also connecting with wanting to get in their own team. So we're going to see that pass from straight over to Spooks.
Great play.
Great play. I mean, you said it yourself. It's beautiful to see. Everything that can go right needs to go right for this St. Cloud State team.
You have a pass, you have a shot, and you have a demo attempt all in one. That gives you a great scoring opportunity every time you can execute that. Granted, Straight wasn't able to make contact on a demo, but he made a player move.
Right. Sometimes that's all you really need. You don't need to always kill somebody, but if you can make them jump, that really delays the defense, I guess you could say, delays them and makes them maybe slower to a ball, allowing your teammate to be more quicker.
And for the Bison, you know, I think they're playing a little tense here, as it's all down to this. I was for sure Power was about own gold. But right now, both teams not wanting to make that first mistake. For the Bison, it would be a bit more costly. Spooks to Power to Straight. Oh my God! Filthy!
I mean, that's what we've been talking about and preaching all series long. Spooks up to Power, back down to Straight.
Play of the year.
The 1-2-3 passing play comes out beautifully, leaving North Dakota State's defense in shambles. Easy goal, beautifully constructed and orchestrated by the whole team.
Play of the year. 3 months ago, St. Cloud State doesn't make that play. And now the road back to redemption for the Bison gets that much tougher. We've seen them take a game, but now for them to take another one here, going to be a bit more harder, a bit more difficult, I should say. Oh, Power standing tall like a brick wall. Not going to let that one through. Spooks, he has some space here. 2 minutes to go. Gets in front of Straight there. But Straight's just going to stay in front of it. Breakout attempt. Jaden, that's a great pass. Bar down and not going to happen. Oh, man, just such an unfortunate bounce, as Jaden had that thing labeled.
Right, absolutely, and especially on those counter plays, whether it's whatever team going for it, it's really a time to utilize your ability to get some boost, and no better time than on a breakout when everyone's kind of distracted, right? There's not too much pressure when your team is going for a breakout to really get into play, especially if you're a third man, right? You want to...
Oh!
Ooh.
Okay, Spooks. Really just throws a changeup on net. Jaden not ready, not respecting a shot attempt.
I didn't think that.
Honestly, I didn't think Spooks was going to shoot there either.
I don't think the defense was expecting him to be able to put a shot on there, but Spooks really surprised everybody and was just kind of putting that one on net.
Chapin gets something in the corner, gets a bump. There's some physicalness, the physicality.
I'm really
liking from the Bison, but
I'm really liking the defensive rotation that we're seeing from the St. Cloud State roster. We're seeing that first man go for the ball, then second man going to the back post, as third is rotating back in to then take second man's position on the back post, hopefully with full boost. I mean, it's really high-level rotational gameplay.
And they're not doing anything too fancy either.
Right.
You know,
I mean, everything they're doing is really just fundamental. I mean,
yes,
they're basically playing really good Rocket League at the base level, where it's just rotation, perfect cuts, boost management, as well as just really good shooting.
Power getting 2 demos to boot. Why not? He's a bit hungry. He's having a little more fun. Make it that much harder. Final 30 seconds begin to roll down. St. Cloud State. They're not new to the upper Midwest, but they're new to esports. And this just their second competitive season in program history. And they are going to win the Heartland Conference playoffs. Despite 3 goals in 8 seconds. Mango, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
I don't think it's doable.
I think that last goal really just solidified it and put the nail in the coffin, right?
And as the clock begins to wind down, there are new kings in the Heartland, and they reign from St. Cloud State University.
I mean, great game all around, really. I mean, we really saw the utilization of really everything coming together, right? Good defense, better rotations, everything like that.
I am so proud of these guys. They've worked their tails off all summer, all fall, and they have been rewarded with a conference championship. I don't want to say rewarded. They earned this title.
Right. I mean, absolutely. I mean, they played fantastic. And I've only had the pleasure of being on this stream casting for about a week now. But from that first game that I saw against Western Kentucky to now, it's absolutely insane the amount of improvement and the amount of dedication that this team has showed me. I mean, it's really beautiful to see.
I'm so happy for these guys with the way how last season ended, falling in the conference semifinals to the eventual champions. And then last Monday, they fall in the conference finals to Western Kentucky in NECC play. But here in the NECC, St. Cloud State win the Heartland Conference playoffs. And Mango, who knows where they go from here?
I mean, hopefully nowhere but up, honestly.
Quick shout out to Jess behind the scenes, right, making sure the stream's up and running. Head coach Kai for getting these boys locked and loaded, ready to go every week. Shout out to Chase, our phenomenal esports director. Everything he's done has just been phenomenal. I'm speechless. And then for everyone I just mentioned for letting me do this as a St. Cloud State alumni, this is a blast. I have so much fun doing this, and I love this team, and I can't wait for the spring. So for ladies and gentlemen, for myself, Turney Ernie, for my good friend Mango, thank you for tuning out tonight all throughout the season here on the St. Cloud State Esports Twitch channel. Husky fans, stay warm, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you in the spring. Have a good night.